Hello and welcome back to my channel, and thank you so much if you are new. My name is Miana Melendez and I love sharing all things spirituality, wellness, food and chakras, as well as business. So what I wanted to talk to you today is about why I decided to move to Mexico. You know, at 25 at the time, I was having a quarter life crisis, and I knew I needed and wanted to get out of the United States. I wanted to expand my environment, my surroundings, my mind, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. And so I decided that I wanted to move out of the country, but it took me a while to decide where I wanted to move. But of course, the process of moving was all the same. You know, I wanted to save money. I wanted to know my exit for work. I wanted to, become more aware that if I was leaving the place that I currently was, how I really wanted to savor every moment, all the experiences. And so back in 2015, I had just got two little kittens. And, I realized that there wasn't going to be much change or excitement in my life anymore. 2 years prior, I had been working in television production, and I was stuck in that job, and it was heartless and it was so catty and toxic that I left that space. And so when I then moved into another job that was more cushy but also very comfortable, there wasn't a lot to do, and it was well paid, but it wasn't challenging. It wasn't mentally challenging, and it was an office desk job. And so I knew that I wanted to physically move my body. I'm a yogi at heart, 10 years strong, and I really wanted something more. And so, of course, living in the United States, where everything is romanticized about Europe, of course I was thinking, I'm going to go to Europe. I can, get a master's degree in communication, which is what my bachelor degree was in. And, as I was thinking about that, I was like, wait a second. So I already have student loans, and I'm going to get more student loans for the same exact degree. Like, what sense does that make? And what's really my ROI? Like, what's my return on investment for getting a communications degree again? And then I was thinking, maybe the money that I'm going to save, I'm just going to travel the world. And then I was like, okay, but where am I gonna go? Me being a woman of color, a millennial, just traveling the world. I know women and men do that all the time, but I didn't think that I was ready to make such a big shift over a period of time of moving every few months to a different country by myself. I didn't think that I was ready for that either, because of course the places that I wanted to go were India and Vietnam and, back to Spain and Italy and France. And I was like, can I do all those things really by myself? Emotionally, can I just travel by myself for a year? And I know that I would love to do that, but I think I needed to ground myself instead of that experience. And I think maybe now that I do live here in Mexico, maybe now I'm ready to have a more backpacking experience throughout the world. But when I decided that it was actually going to be Mexico, there's several reasons why I chose here. The first reason is because it does border the US. I knew that I wanted to move out of the country, but I didn't want to move too far either, right? So Europe or anywhere across the pond is way far, right? And nothing is the same. I don't speak any of the languages that are over there, and me being biracial, I'm half black, half Puerto Rican, I knew that I had some root knowledge of Spanish. I had taken Spanish in school as well. And so I knew that was going to help me. I also knew that I did not want to live in snow anymore. I had been living in Chicago my whole life. And so anybody who's from the Midwest or encounters snow knows that is a 6-month process. Half the year is beautiful in spring and summer and fall, and the other 6 months is the dead of winter. So I decided that was going to be my one stick in the sand. I don't want any more snow. It's been a quarter of my life. I'm done with that. So that's another reason why I moved to Mexico. Another reason is because I knew that I was saving money on my kind of budget, and I knew that I wanted to live in a place where I felt comfortable living, where I wasn't gonna have to, as soon as I got there, like if I would have been in Europe, immediately need to go get a job. I just converted $1,000. I just got back, $700 because the currency exchange. And so that was another big point of why I knew I wanted to go to another country that had a different way of living and had a positive exchange rate or beneficial exchange rate to me on moving. Like now that I live here, when I converted $1,000 in US dollars, I got back way more in pesos than I would have gotten back in euros. That's the truth. Another reason why I wanted to move here is because I knew, being biracial, growing up, even in Chicago, a world-class city, when I was in middle school and high school, most of my people that I was surrounding were also white, were people of non-color. And so I knew something that I wanted to experience was living in a place, living in a country where more people looked like me. Maybe they didn't have curly hair like me, but they definitely had, brown skin. They were morenos like me. And so I knew that was something that was also really important, because I was so used to being stuck out in a crowd that I wanted to be, and I know I still am here because my curls, and people know I'm not Mexican, but it's a different experience living in a place where everyone is also a shade of brown like you. So those are the reasons why I wanted to move to Mexico, because it was more comfortable, more affordable living. The food here, besides here in California, most of United States imported food comes from Mexico, because the soil here is so fertile. And so that also means that food is cheaper here, and it's more fresh. They don't have pesticides here. They do a lot of things organically. And another reason, of course, the sun and avocados, and also immersing myself in a completely new language and learning Spanish being something that I've always wanted to do. And so that is why I decided to move to Mexico. And it took me over a year to financially, spiritually, and mentally get everything together in order to make that move. And so if moving to another country, if moving to Mexico is something that you're interested in, I challenge you to, really sit with yourself, have a meditation, grab your journal, grab your crystals, grab your plants, do everything that you need to do in order to know that this is the right decision for you. It is so exciting to know that, more millennials, more spiritually minded people are making the jump and moving out of the United States and moving to a country that feels right to them and immersing themselves in a new language, and they're being embraced by that culture as well. So I hope this video was informative for you and let you know more insight on what Mexico is like, why I chose to personally live here, and what it's like to be a millennial expat in another country. So stay tuned for more videos on spirituality, wellness, and of course, business. I'm Miana Melendez. Stay blessed.